Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bobby Clue, Executive Director of the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce, and I want to welcome you to our virtual State of the County and City Address. So traditionally, on the first Tuesday of each month, we would be hosting our luncheon here at the Center for Rural Development. Unfortunately, life's just not going to let us do that right now. So we are improvising. We are making we're building a better ship, and today we're doing this virtually. So I'm very excited to have with me our two top elected officials here in our community on the county and city level. I have our Pulaski County Judge Executive, Steve Kelly. I also have City of Somerset Mayor Alan Keck with us here today. And the whole point of this is we want to hear from them. You know, I think everybody is very aware that 2020 has been a very challenging year, and especially for the Chamber and our business community, it's been a very tough year. And we want to hear from our elected officials on where we're going. What's the path for the next 6 months? We've got 6 months left to salvage this year. That's kind of what I've been telling everybody. So we're excited to have that opportunity. I want to thank our sponsor today, Somerset-Pulaski Economic Development Authority, Chris Girdler, SPEDA. I know they're watching right now, so I want to thank them for being the sponsor of today's luncheon, and I think it's a very fitting sponsor considering both organizations kind of co-manage that organization. So in that, I'd like to go ahead and we'll have some thoughts from both the judge and the mayor just on maybe some prepared remarks, things that they're thinking about, upcoming plans, anything exciting that we might want to hear about for the rest of the year. And then after that, we're going to take some questions from you, and we're going to have them answer them here live with us on this Facebook Live. And again, we're Facebook Live right now. We're going to try and make this about a 45-minute telecast, but we're so excited. I want to thank everybody for joining us. So we flipped a coin earlier. We didn't actually, but Judge, we're going to let you go first, if that's okay. And if you would like to give us some remarks maybe about how's the county doing.
I'd be glad to. First, let me just say thank you, Bobby, for hosting this this forum, and thank you, Mayor, for coming and being part of this. It's an honor to share the stage with two men that I just consider to be movers and shakers in this community and pillars of this community. So it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you, folks at home and at work for tuning in with us today. This is definitely a first, I guess, to do a Facebook Live for our State of the City and the County addresses. So we'll make it through this. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to have this position that you've put me in to lead our county. It's been quite an honor for me, and it's a responsibility that I truly take serious. It's something I think about and ponder daily, if not hourly, and I bathe it in prayer. And I want to make my pledge to you that I will give my best effort to be your county judge executive. So thank you for allowing me to do that. I just open up, and I'm just going to say that it's been an amazing run here these last few years. We've had so many good things that have gone on in Pulaski County and Somerset, and I just want to touch on a few just to kind of jog your memory about it. But leading up to 2020, Bobby, we had such amazing and explosive job growth here in Pulaski County. We've had, in every sector, our industry, our commerce, retail, our healthcare, our professional services. We've seen just an explosive growth and near record low unemployment here in Pulaski County, and I'm excited about that. We've seen four-year colleges. I mean, for years, people worked on the idea that we could have a four-year college here in Somerset and Pulaski County. And in the last 2 years, we've had two four-year colleges make announcements. We have Campbellsville University first announced their presence for a four-year college and to be able to get degrees here in Somerset. And then right on the heels of that came the Somerset Community College's announcement that they were going to become a four-year college and renamed the University Center of Southern Kentucky. And they were going to be a partnership program with UK and Moorhead, Eastern Kentucky University, and Western Kentucky University. They were going to make it possible for our children and our grandchildren to get their four-year degrees right here at home without ever having to leave. And for people that are working and non-traditional students that want to go back to get their degree, now they can do that right here in Somerset and Pulaski County. And to me, I'm so excited to see what that is going to bring to this area. I think it's going to transform our region. I think within the next decade, you'll see the tremendous positive effects that this will bring. It'll bring increased business opportunities to recruit businesses here. It'll bring a more educated workforce here. It will provide an economy boost to our economy that we see in other areas where you see four-year colleges. Typically when I look around at different communities that have four-year colleges, on average their unemployment rates are about 2% lower than places that are not. So I'm excited about that potential that brings, and I can't wait to see the fruit of that. Another announcement we had last year that was huge is the Mill Springs Battlefield and Museum now is going to be accepted into the National Park Service. That is going to be huge for tourism. All of a sudden, we have millions of people from all around the country that have never even heard of this place that will be marking their calendars and making plans to come to Nancy, Kentucky to see this national monument and to check that off their bucket list. And so I'm excited to see how much tourism and how much economic growth is going to come from that announcement. So that's underway now, and hopefully we'll make the transition this year and be fully taken into the park system. We've got just last year we were awarded a $25 million build grant, which is an infrastructure grant. It's part of a $60 million highway and infrastructure program out at Highway 461 and 80. And this is a dangerous intersection. It's always congested there. This build grant will allow us to install a cloverleaf interchange there that will free up the traffic movements and make it a safer place and alleviate the congestion that we face there. Also, in part of this project, we will be building a bridge over Highway 461 at our Valley Oak Commerce Complex. That is a very congested and a very dangerous area when employees are coming to and leaving work, and tractor trailers that are turning in there. And this bridge over will free up the congestion there and allow us to see continued prosperity and growth in our industrial park. Also, within the last couple of years, we were recipient of a $3.8 million workforce development grant, which was huge for this area. It's a great investment for our children, for our grandchildren. It allows our community college and our area technology center to update their facilities and to get equipment that will better prepare our children to enter the workforce, to teach them trades that they need to fill today's jobs. So that was a huge thing for this area. One big thing that I'm most proud of is the launch of SPEDA in 2019. SPEDA is the Somerset-Pulaski Economic Development Authority, and we started trying to launch SPEDA in 2016 as a way to enhance or to even replace the Somerset-Pulaski Industrial Foundation, which for 50 years had done a wonderful job of attracting tourism or attracting industry into our area and to do economic development. But in the last decade or so, we saw a loss of focus in the foundation. We saw some ineffectiveness as the way things were being done across the country and across the world were changing, and we weren't able to keep up with it. So we decided to put an emphasis on economic development. And what SPEDA gives us, it's a city and county partnership. It gives us an umbrella type organization that coordinates all the efforts of so many people that are doing good things here, but it tries to pull all that together to harness the energy and harness the efforts so that we get more results, more productivity in economic development. So you see our industrial recruitment efforts are there. You see our workforce development efforts are coordinated through there. We work with Chamber and help coordinate some other activities. We work with, of course, city and county projects. We work with those. We work with our tourism to try to coordinate some of their efforts. We work with the arts to try to help grow the arts in our area. So it's a total economic development package, and what they've done in the first year has been amazing. So many good things. Right off the bat that comes to mind, they've saved over $300,000 in operating expenses, and they've taken these savings and they've applied them to different programs. We've got an inmate training program that they've invested in that gets our inmates that are about ready to be released, gets them ready for work, gives them workforce training. They've invested in mini grant series where they let entrepreneurs apply for money to help get to the next level in their businesses. They've they've contributed to a new overflow parking lot over at the industrial park that allows tractor trailers that are waiting to unload to be able to stack safely without tying up the parking lot. They've invested in a food truck court out at the industrial park, eliminating that congestion. So many things that they're working towards. They've got an industrial leaders breakfast series that meets quarterly. They've done so much. They've been a part of recruiting and an expansion project with Team Modern out at our industrial park. They've helped with Hollander Corporation to get their doors opened here in Pulaski County. So just in one short year, it's been amazing what they do, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the years to come with SPEDA. Remember last year this time, we were standing up, and I had a 2-liter bottle of Coke, and I shook that 2-liter bottle of Coke, and everybody on the front row, got a little nervous, and I started to unscrew the lid, and it fizzed a little bit, and people started backing away. Well, I did that just to kind of tell you how I felt about the climate and what we were going through in Pulaski County, and I likened it to that 2-liter bottle of Coke that was under pressure, that was just ready to explode, that was full of energy and full of momentum, and folks, we still have that right here in Pulaski County. We still are strong, and we're going to move forward. So these are some exciting things that have happened. Now, Andrew, you talked about 2020, the year the world stood still. When this coronavirus came and spread throughout the human race, it really scared a lot of people. The hospitals were not ready to handle such a pandemic. They were understaffed and they were not prepared. And so, in an effort to keep from having a healthcare crisis and to flatten the curve, so to speak, our president and our state leaders and leaders around the world basically put a shutdown on all social and business interaction, which just brought our economy to its knees. And nobody's exempt from that. It's been felt worldwide, and so we've just been standing still. But we will overcome that. We're right now starting to come out of this coronavirus pandemic, at least this first phase, and we're going to move forward. We're not going to live in fear. We're going to be bold, and we're going to approach life and get our livelihoods back. We're going to be respectful of each other and try to remain healthy, but we're going to move forward. One thing in this coronavirus that I'm proud of that we did, in 2019, we launched our Emergency Operations Center. Basically, I met with some local first responders and people across the state, and we did not have an active Emergency Operations Center. And so we started that process and got it launched in 2019. As we were ramping up and getting our training, all of a sudden this pandemic hit, and we had to get trial by fire. We had to jump right in and show that we had what we needed to protect our people. And what the Emergency Operations Center allowed us to do, it allowed us to house a group of emergency functions, key people around the community, that we could streamline our communication with our mayor, other mayors of the other cities, with our healthcare professionals, our first responders, school leaders, community food banks, basically anybody who was trying to be a part of the solution and trying to protect the people here in Pulaski County. We were able to streamline that communication and have daily conference calls. We were also able to procure, store, and disperse personal protective equipment, what they're calling PPE. So we had a location we could do that and also be able to get reimbursement from FEMA for those expenses. It allowed us the ability to have a hotline set up that we could provide essentials, foods, and medicines and delivery of such to our residents that may have been trapped at home for whatever reason, whether they were quarantined to be at home or whether they had lost the ability to have transportation. We were there to help. So the Emergency Operations Center allowed us to do all those things, and I'm proud and feel fortunate that we were able to get that opened up prior to this. So thankfully, and a little bit boastfully, I want to say that we have managed this coronavirus very well here at home. A lot of people were part of that. Mayor was certainly involved in that, and his law enforcement people and the EMS people. It's been a great thing. Bobby's been in touch with us. So everybody that was a part of the EOC and moving forward, I want to say thank you for that. So we're gonna recover from this. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna prosper again. we're going to overcome this together. You know, there's going to be it's going to be some new normals that we're going to find here. We're going to go forward, and our children and our grandchildren are going to lead the way out of this, and they're going to have new opportunities that you and I never even imagined existed. There's going to be technologies that emerge from this, new ways of doing things. They're going to find new markets to deal with. They're going to find new global partners to do business with. Basically, because of the situation we're in, change is going to be forced, and they will adopt this change, and they will make the most out of it. I'm confident that it's going to be a great new opportunity for our children and grandchildren as we move forward. So let me just talk a little bit about some of the things that we've got coming up. You said the next 6 months. Well, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. You know, something we're going to be working on, always working on. First thing that I'm glad to see coming to an end is the Kentucky Wired project. At least in our region, I know they've got some things almost finalized here. And what Kentucky Wired will allow us to do, we'll have high-speed broadband internet that will be able to serve people that previously have been underserved. And what they've done, the state and the federal government has put in this what they're calling the middle mile. It's a backbone of high-speed broadband internet. And it's basically going to connect every county in the state of Kentucky is the plan, but it's going to be live here real soon. What that is, it's likened to a interstate highway system that connects every county, and they will provide the interstate highway. What our responsibility will be, and our partners in our private enterprise will be able to build on-ramps to that highway to be able to take that high-speed broadband internet and then provide what's called the last mile, which is fiber to the home, or some hybrid of fiber and wireless to the home, just basically to give the ability to let our people have full access to broadband, high-speed broadband internet. So that's a project we're glad to see coming to fruition. Our Speed of Commerce Park, we started in 2016 looking for property to build another industrial park because the existing parks were either full or nearly full. So we started looking for property, and then we located some in 18, I believe, that we could purchase. We made a deal with the property owner. It's in the Shopville area, right off of 80. There's about 200 acres altogether. First phase was 142 acres. But as we speak, the county bought that. We transferred that over to SPEDA, and SPEDA will now take the ball and run with that and get that developed. And as we speak, we're getting bids in from developers and engineers to develop that park. I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. We already have one partner that is wanting to relocate to our new industrial park and have signed a memorandum of agreement to do that. So keep your eyes open as you're driving out 80 to see what happens out there. We should be seeing dirt move by this fall. So I'm excited to see that happen. Bobby, before the show, you asked me about our Ag Expo Center. And I want to tell you that's on track right now. With SPEDA, they have issued an RFI nationwide, which is basically a request for information to see if people have an interest to be able to provide an Ag Expo Center. And just kind of tell you what we were thinking about. If you can imagine, if you've seen the Corbin Arena, and then if you've seen Casey County's Expo Center, their Ag Center, we're going to have somewhat of a cross between that. We're going to be able to serve up to 3,000 visitors at once. There will be an attached RV park where people can come to agriculture and livestock shows, music concerts. We have demolition derbies, truck and tractor pulls, church events, school archery competitions, you name it. This facility will be able to house any of those things, and we plan on having weekly shows at this Ag Expo Center. It's going to be a huge boost to our tourism. It's going to be a great addition to our economy and what we have to offer right here in Pulaski County. So that should be, we should have some information by July 15th, and then from that point we'll hopefully put out a request for RFP, request for proposal, to get a developer to join us in that effort. So that's coming up. I don't want to steal the mayor's thunder, but I know SPEDA has worked with the mayor closely, and the announcement of Horse Soldier Bourbon he's going to talk about together with that, and a few other things that we've been working on. One of those was XTL, and a couple other big projects. You know, we've got in the pipeline up to, could approach $500 million of investment in our community just with some projects that we're looking at right now. So I'm sure the mayor will touch more on that as he speaks. Something else that's going to be big for this area. Excited about this, the I-65 spur. If you've not heard of that, we actually have just had our state representatives put into the budget for this coming year a study, $500,000 study to turn the Cumberland Parkway and change its status into I-65 spur. Now, why is that important, you say? Who needs a spur? Well, invariably, when companies are looking to relocate into an area, whether it be a plant relocation or a home office relocation, they hire site selectors to go out and find agreeable sites, something that's ideal for their company. They give them a list of parameters that they need to meet, a list of criteria that they need to meet. For instance, quality of life, available workforce. They want to see utility rates that are low, cost of living low. They want to see natural resources, things of the like. But invariably what they want to see also, they want to see interstate access. And because we don't have interstate access, we never make the first cut. We're not even considered. We're not on the radar. So if we get I-65 spur status, that immediately will give us exposure to thousands of people who are looking for relocation in a place that fits their criteria. So that will be huge for economic development here if we can get that. So we're working on that. Hopefully we can make that announcement next year that we can move forward with that project. So excited about that. Our new EOC facility, I talked about the Emergency Operations Center. Well, this year we plan on moving that. It has been operating out of the 911 call center, but we plan on opening up a new facility, hopefully at the Hal Rogers Training Center on that campus. So we're planning on hopefully relocating that building this year and making it state-of-the-art facilities. We've been praised and bragged on statewide for what we've been able to do in such a short time with the Emergency Operations Center. Now we want to give it the home that it deserves so that we can be the best in the state. So that's coming hopefully in 2020 or 21. Something I want to share with you, we actually are in the design phase of a new community park. I don't know how soon this will happen, but we are working on the design of this. And it will be a park that will complement our Cal Ripken fields and our Summer Sport Park. Hopefully it'll be a centrally located park that will offer more sports fields, more opportunities for our children. It'll have a walking track, a fishing and duck pond, maybe a splash pad, a track and field where they can host any type of events. Just a lot of area for our youth to be involved in and our families to get together, spend more quality time outdoors. And who knows, there has been talk of an indoor center, indoor sports complex for a while. Maybe this could be an opportunity to look at housing that there as well. So those are some things, just a few things that I can think of that are coming up here in the next little bit, Bobby, and things I'm excited about and I'm glad to share with you. I hope you as Pulaski County will get excited about these things too. We've had a rough few months, but let's don't dwell on that. Let's think about where our future is, and let's think about where we're going. The great Wayne Gretzky, they asked him one time, how are you able to score so much? You're leading the league in scoring. He said, you know what? He said, it's simple. He said, I just skate to where the puck's going to be. I don't skate to where it is. And that's the mindset we've got to have. We've got to be thinking about where the puck's going to be, and we've got to get there. We can't focus on where it is right now. So if we'll do that together, we can really see some great things happen. The future of Pulaski County and Somerset is very bright. We've been poised to recover from this, and we are poised to recover. And I know that when the green flag is dropped, we're going to come out of the gate and we're going to lead the way regionally and statewide in economic development. The stage is set, and I'm ready to go. If we can get all of our folks here at home to keep pulling together, keep dreaming. Pulaski, be proud of who you are. Be bold. Be creative. Let's be determined. Let's move forward. Don't ever say we can't. Instead, let's ask the question, how can we? And together, we will move forward. We will reach that successful and prosperous place that we've worked so hard for. And I'm excited that you let me be a part of this with you. And my pledge to you is I will keep giving my best effort to to make sure that we can move forward together and we can be the best version of ourselves here in Pulaski County. So thank you. God bless you. And let's get busy making history.
Well, thank you very much, Judge, for taking the time to come out and talk with us. And just on a personal note, I know one thing you didn't mention I'm going to brag on you about is recently Pulaski County government has actually purchased 15,000 disposable face masks that we have been issuing to our business community. So we gave out over 10,000 masks in less than one day. So the judge purchased 5,000 more, and I think we're starting to fill that need. A lot of businesses I genuinely thought were prepared for their reopenings, and I was wrong. There's a lot of need out there, so I want to thank you for doing that and getting our business community ready to get back to work. So that's kind of our slogan these days is let's get back to work. So thank you for helping with that.
I'm glad that you were able to do that because you were the best. You were the best conduit to be able to provide that. So I'm glad
we had
could do that.
a line out our door that entire day of people. It was amazing. I've never seen anything. A Christmas parade, nothing I've ever seen like that. It was impressive.
Great.
But the need was there, and you saw that and you met it. So I appreciate that. Next, we have first term mayor for the city of Somerset, Mr. Alan Keck. Alan's doing a bang-up job. I'm very excited to have him here with us. And I know there's, the chamber office is in downtown, so we get to see a lot of exciting projects that are going on since the Energy Center is actually right next to us. And I'm very excited to have you here, Mayor. And maybe you can take some time and just tell us kind of what's on the horizon, where we've been, where we're going.
Yeah, I'm honored to. Thank you for having me. I'd like to say thanks to you and the entire Chamber of Commerce for all the work that you've done. I think that a sign of a great chamber is what would the community look like if you were out of the community, and through this pandemic, it's been evident that your leadership has been paramount. And Judge, appreciate your comments, and I also appreciate your leadership. Throughout these last several months, you've stepped up. The EOC has been big for the community. Rallying the emergency service personnel together, I think, has been helpful, and I appreciate the work that you do. And I'd like to say that I enjoy working together. I really do. I think that one of the reasons that we're thriving in this community at this time is because of collaboration and the continuity that we have. And I'd also like to say thanks to Chris and SPEDA and the entire SPEDA board for sponsoring this. It's important that citizens get transparent government, and part of that means you hear from your local leaders. And so with that, I'd like to share some remarks. I prepared a few today to take a look back at where we've been, but also where we're going. I echo what the judge said, is it's important that we look ahead and find where that puck will be, not where it is today. And I reminisce back to New Year's Eve of 2019, and I stood on a stage in downtown Somerset, and I was standing with the band, and I was looking over a full downtown, and I thought, what a special way to celebrate the year that we had, but also to look forward to the future. And I did that, and in that moment, I was filled with an incredible amount of hope, excitement, and honestly, just this positive energy about the future. And I will say that, there's a cliche phrase of what a difference a year makes. And I think I could say now that, goodness, what a difference 5 or 6 months makes. And in spite of the challenges that we have, those same feelings of hope and excitement are still there. But we're also sensitive to the fact that there's been loss of precious life. And there's also been loss of livelihoods. People's life's work have been damaged and impacted in this. And I think these challenges are deserving of compassion, of reflection, but also with this vision of how we're going to overcome it and how we're going to look forward. Last year at this time, I stood before you and made a similar address. This time, I think that it's a little different looking through the lens of a camera, but the furthest thing from my mind a year ago, and probably the furthest thing from yours, was that we would be faced with a global pandemic. I can also sit in front of this camera lens and tell you, though, that the state of this city, and I will say the state of this county, is resilient. We will meet this test, and I think in many ways we have met this test. Somerset will continue to be the spirit of Southern Kentucky, and I would say that we're stronger than we've ever been. I think we're ready to move forward, and I'm more proud of the people in this community than I ever have been. It continues, and again, I'll echo something the judge said, to be one of the greatest honors of my life to have this job. It's an honor and a privilege to serve my hometown, and I certainly look forward to the next 2.5 years and perhaps even beyond as I serve you. One of the things that I'm so proud of is through aggressive fiscal management and efficient government, we have found some ways to invest in our emergency service personnel in historic ways. Last year during this address, I promised that we would fix our ailing EMS facility. It was in dire need, over a decade delayed of improvements, and we have done that. That project is over halfway complete, and the other side will be completed in this coming fiscal year. But we've also made a commitment to put into the budget that next year we'll be purchasing a new fire truck, we'll be purchasing a new ambulance, and we continue to invest in our great police department with new police cars. And I think it's important for those folks to understand, for the community to understand, that not only are we going to continue to invest in our people, but we're going to invest in their facilities and their equipment as well. We're also committed to investing in the city's infrastructure needs. In next year's budget, we're adding $5 million for a wastewater treatment addition to the wastewater plant that we have, and a $7 million project in our water department that's going to continue to allow us to provide water and sewer for not only the city, but particularly the water project is going to allow us to continue to provide safe and clean water for huge parts of the county, and we're really proud of that. I would say that we're mitigating problems that, quite frankly, have been around for far too long. We're also going to be addressing some of the widely known challenges that we have in our downtown. We've experienced a great deal of flooding, and we're going to be making improvements to our stormwater system that will help alleviate those challenges, not just only for our businesses, but also for our homeowners. We promised you that we would light up Somerset, and I would say that we unequivocally have. We have made incredible investment and been intentional to ensure that we're investing in art and music and entertainment, but we're also investing in fellowship and bringing people together as a community. Last year, I mentioned the New Year's Eve Bash. We also had Food Stock, the first food festival of its kind in Somerset. We had the Streets and Eats Festival with the busker music contest, and then we probably had close to 10,000 folks at the Moonlight Festival, and it was just an amazing time together. You know, we've delayed and paused some of those festivals, largely for your safety, but I want you to know that the Light Up movement continues. You know, not only do we have the beautiful mural on the chamber that the city was proud to sponsor, a part of, but we've continued to add murals throughout downtown. We're continuing to light up alleyways, and I hope you've seen the work that has been done on Rocky Hollow basketball courts as a way to light up a piece of history in hopes that future generations will get to enjoy that as well. We found ways to innovate, launching our See My Set Facebook series, where we find ways to promote our small businesses and also our artists in this time of economic shutdown when they so desperately needed that production and also that message that their government was behind them. We're trying to keep your health and well-being a top priority, and with that, we've launched the Healthy Somerset Initiative, where we're taking a holistic approach to mental, physical, and spiritual health in hopes that Somerset and Pulaski County will become the healthiest community in the Commonwealth. We've invested in our park system, and this is an important part of our Healthy Somerset Initiative. I hope you'll take the time to go and see Rocky Hollow Park, where we're clearing out trees and we're going to improve the walking track that's down there, our disc golf, and again, our basketball courts. I think now more than ever, we need the ability to get outside, get outdoors safely, and work on that mental and physical health that we know is so important. We're also going to be focused on taking care of and being sensitive to the needs of some of those that might not be as fortunate. I'm going to be presenting a plan to City Council to build a sensory park downtown. It's an inclusive play space that's designed to meet the physical, sensory, and also the socialization needs of others. And it's going to be the first in its kind worldwide, and I'm really proud to announce those plans very soon. I'm proud of the fact that we didn't punt and wait on the construction of the farmers market. When the pandemic hit, people were concerned about what would happen to this downtown market, and I would say that this market is going to open later this month, but offering fresh local produce at an attractive price is not only great for our local producers, but it's great for our consumers. They're going to have healthy options for their food, and I think it'll be another avenue for us to get together as a community. As the judge mentioned, through SPEDA, the county, and myself, we have been as aggressive in marketing our community as any city in all of Kentucky. As a part of that, our recruitment efforts last year landed the famed Horse Soldier Bourbon and the valiant soldiers who served our country that have decided to invest in Somerset and Pulaski County. They've invested nearly $4 million as we stand today, and I can tell you that not only is that project going to continue, it's only growing. They hope to have a shovel in the dirt sometime this year, and I think that you guys are going to welcome them with open arms, and they're going to be a fantastic addition to our community. Last but not least, before I have some closing remarks, I want you to know that in many ways we've been your champion. You've empowered me to aggressively advocate on your behalf. And because of those efforts, because of your efforts, we saw many in the healthcare field open far sooner than anyone thought imaginable. Because of those advocacy efforts, we also saw those in Frankfort move the needle a little bit and allow some of our retail, but specifically our restaurants, to open prior to Memorial Day. We know that in a tourism-driven economy, that weekend is vital to their success. And I'm so proud of the efforts that we've had. We need to continue that. We're going to continue to have that consistent dialogue with our local businesses to ensure that we're taking care of their needs in the way that they need us to. In this time of crisis, we've all joined in shared sacrifice. But I've also seen in many ways the bitterness of party lines create a further divide. I would say that in Somerset and under my leadership, we've avoided a great deal of that. We're blessed with an amazing community. And I think that the strongest of leaders will find ways to take the differences among us, but uniquely leverage those talents in a way that fits these pieces together for ultimate strength. I will say that as we're coming out of COVID, and we can't ignore the elephant in the room, that we're struggling as a country right now. But we're going to take the lead. We're not going to shy from these conversations. We'll stand up against racism, and I'll also stand with those that serve valiantly and lawfully. I'm never going to shy away from either one of those things. Like on New Year's Eve, my heart's still filled with hope. It's still filled with excitement. I hope to see each of you at the farmer's market very soon. I hope that this fall, we'll cheers a Diet Coke or a bag of popcorn at a sporting event for our children. I hope that you'll join me in October as we relaunch our festival series and we have an amazing opportunity and event downtown. And I hope that you'll continue to safely do these things. I hope that you'll treat people with kindness and with compassion in everything that we do. It's been said that this crisis has been a test of our humanity. I would say that test has been met. Now it's the greatest test of our courage. Though we've diligently followed guidelines and recommendations, we're going to continue to do that. We're going to care and respect each other. We're not going to wait for permission to lead. We don't have to do that. We will go boldly. We're going to go unapologetically without fear, understanding that there's consequences of inaction just as there are in action. Now's not to sit back and hope things will get better. It's time to, yes, compassionately, but also aggressively take the lead and ensure that Somerset, Pulaski County, and Kentucky are reignited again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate the kind words. It's great to have such great leaders in such close proximity to the Chamber office. We're very fortunate as a community to have the leaders that we do, and appreciate you guys being with me. Once again, I want to thank our sponsor today, the Somerset-Pulaski Economic Development Authority, SPEDA. Really appreciate you guys sponsoring our virtual State of the County and City address. And I know that we're at about 40 minutes right now. We've got some time for some questions. I'm going to ask that we do these in about a minute or so each. We're just kind of rapid fire through these questions. And I'll start with you, Judge, if that's okay. We'll just kind of go back and forth. We'll try to take a few questions from the audience here. I have one here. It says, Judge Kelly, James Young would like to know, when will local camping open back up?
Well, good news, James Young and everybody in Pulaski County. We have opened up local camping for our RVs and for our cabin rentals, so that you can do that today. There has been a run already once we made that announcement this week that those will be open fully. However, we cannot open at this time the primitive campsites. We have that, and we have our playgrounds are still closed until there's a safer way of handling that. Our shelters are still closed. But if you have an RV and you would like to go to Pulaski County Park, you can do that. I also just want to say, all of our county parks, we get a lot of talk about Pulaski County Park, but we've got other community parks that are great places to take your family for an outing, for a walk on a trail around the park, just to spend the day with your family. So get out and enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy your family, and there's a good way of capturing back your mental health and your physical health if you'll just get outside and get active.
Thank you, Judge. Mayor Keck, William Davis would like to know if there will be any street festivals like last year in downtown Somerset, and if so, when will they be?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I'm not sure where I'm going here, but I'm gonna look here. I'm looking here. Okay, I appreciate the question. Yes, there will be. First, I'll say that unfortunately the Derby Festival is not going to happen as planned. With it being Labor Day weekend, we don't want to take away from the tourism economy down on the lake. We're not going to have food stock either, just because the crowds probably won't be allowed in August as we hope. But in October, our hope is to have a massive Moonlight Festival. I think it's going to be a great time. My hope and plans are also to continue to have that New Year's Eve bash, where I think that in 7 months we'll look back and look back favorably about how we've done as a community. And so, yeah, 2 festivals this year to scale, but also the farmers market will be a sort of a mini version where we can come together as a community.
It's exciting. Thank you. Judge Kelly, Greg Moore would like to know, will the live streaming camera covering Fountain Square, when will that live streaming camera covering Fountain Square be up and running?
Okay, and I forgot to mention something on the last question.
Oh, go ahead.
The website. You can go to the website to make reservations right now for Pulaski County Park, and that is pcparkky.com. So if you need to go make reservations, you can do that today. Good question, Greg. So the word is out. We're going to be getting some live cams, thanks to SPEDA and their involvement in that. Hopefully within the next 30 to 45 days, you will see live streaming from Fountain Square. I think there's a couple contracts that need to be ironed out with I guess the city needs to be a part of that, I'm understanding, and also one of the local residents there on the town square. So a couple contracts to be ironed out. Then they will put the live streaming on Fountain Square, just a way of getting people to go to SPEDA's website to see what's going on. Here's something that you may not have known. I'll let the cat out of the bag. We're looking at doing an Eagle Cam as well. So we're hopefully going to at an undisclosed location have an Eagle Cam where you can watch the birthing process and the activity of eagles and their eaglets. So that will be a neat thing, and people can see Lake Cumberland also while they're doing that. So stay tuned for that. Always neat little things happening there. Thank you to SPEDA for making that happen.
That's great. Maybe we can have even more cams in the future. That sounds like a fun project to get people to go check out the website. Mayor Keck, Janice Garcia loves all the new art and mural projects that are being done by the city. She would like to know if there are any upcoming plans that citizens can expect to our park system, though. Is there anything coming up with the parks?
Yeah. Well, Janice, thanks for your question and also your kind words on our murals. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of our Light Up initiative. And so I would point back to Rocky Hollow Park. It's one of probably the most potential in the community. That park has immense opportunities, and so we've spent a lot of time and money to clear it out, make it a little bit safer, light it up of sorts in a natural way. We're going to be repairing the bridges and the roadways through there in hopes that the amphitheater will be used more, the disc golf will be used more. We've renovated the Rocky Hollow basketball court with an incredible mural. And then, as I mentioned, the sensory park. I hope to have some more information to present to the council very soon, but it'll be one of a kind in the world for now. It's the first one, and I hope that, again, it's an opportunity for those that have different needs than many of us to get to go and play and enjoy. So we're excited to continue to invest in our park system.
Great, thank you. I'm going to ask you both a question. This can be for both of you. You can talk about this as you'd like. Mayor Keck, Judge Kelly, Preston Scott Young would like to know if you foresee any problems occurring with voting by mail in the upcoming election. Do you see any problems with that? Is there anything you'd like to touch on with the upcoming, they've changed the primary date. Is there anything y'all would like to touch on here locally?
I'll start, Joe.
Go ahead if you've got thoughts on
First
that.
thing is, it is what it is now. So the plans have been announced. And Preston, I appreciate the question, but I think we need to support the decisions that have been made. First and foremost, let's vote. And if that means you mail-in vote or you go to one of the 6 locations in Pulaski County, let's exercise that right that so many have fought and died for, that perhaps were taken for granted. That's how change happens. I've said so often that, let's do things the right way. And if you want to impact things, then do it at the ballot box. And let's elect leaders that represent our values. So it's a concern, but I think that the safeguards are being put in place. I think that we're going to have a safe and secure election. It's not my preferred cup of tea, but in the COVID climate that we have, Judge, I think that it's the best we've got for now, and we need to trust it and make sure we go out there and vote.
I would concur with that. When you're in a strange time like we are, you have new ways of doing things that come out of that, and this was a decision not made lightly. It was the Board of Elections has wrestled with this, and our clerk's offices has wrestled with this. And like you said, in this time, this is the best alternative they have. I don't remember in my lifetime having a primary election postponed the way it is. I'm sure there's been a reason for that before, but I don't remember it. So I'm just glad that we've got capable people that can put together a plan like this and implement it and see it through. So yeah, like the mayor said, go vote, do your part, and trust the system, and we'll get through this.
I'd like to give you both a chance before we conclude, maybe for some final thoughts, a challenge, anything you'd like to talk about. Judge, I'll start with you. I'll give you the point of privilege first. Is there anything that you'd like to say in conclusion to today?
I just want to say thank you again for allowing us this forum to do this. It's always my pleasure to be able to address the people of Pulaski County, the county that I love. It's just always exciting to me to think about the potential that's here, and it's always fun for me to share what's going on in my office and some of the things that we're working on. So I appreciate you letting us do this, and folks, I appreciate you allowing me to do this. So thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. Mayor.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and thank you again, Bobby, Judge. It's never a cliche for me when I say that it's a privilege and an honor to serve, especially as a young person per se in my hometown. I treat it every day as that honor. I think that as I close, I think about what the city, what our Commonwealth and our country needs right now in this time, in this challenging time. And I think about hope, but I also think about faith, because hope with faith really is just a dream. And I want us to have faith in this institution. I understand that the government, if you will, has let a lot of people down. I understand that the institutions have failed so many of us, but it's also provided the greatest economic and social experiment in the world. We need leaders to step up. We need folks to be that light, but not just as a metaphor. We need people to have a dream and a vision that's bigger than themselves. I would submit that if we will, whether it's with the deity as my own life, through Jesus, or if it's just to make this world a better place, find something that you believe in that's bigger than you. Do that, and watch your community, watch your country be transformed. So I challenge you to have hope, have faith, and put others in front of you instead of thinking about ourselves, and I think we'll have amazing results accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor. Again, I want to thank our sponsor today, SPEDA. In fact, they were very gracious host us, and they actually had a contest going on social media about posting your favorite thing about Somerset and Pulaski County, and they were going to pick a winner today, which they've provided me with here. It's a giant Yeti cooler full of all sorts of Speedo, a lot of swag, a lot of fun stuff in it. So they wanted us to announce that on the air. So the winner of the Yeti cooler with all the swag is Donna Godby. Donna Godby, congratulations. I would encourage you to call the SPEDA office.
Call early and call often.
Yeah, they're hard to get a hold of over there. So, Donna, if you can't get a hold of them, you call my office. We'll have somebody there. We'll answer that phone. So you go ahead. We will get that to you, and congratulations. And again, we're going to go ahead and conclude. I want to thank the Center for Rural Development for hosting us today.
Absolutely.
I feel like sometimes we take their technology for granted. We have got 3 cameras going right now. It's an amazing setup up here in this green room. I want to thank them. I would encourage you to reach out to them if you want to host things like this. I want to thank my board of directors. I've got my boss, the chamber president, Troy Lovell, standing back there right now. Troy's doing a fantastic job in a really, really tough year. He's really doing a great job. And I want to thank all of you all. When I took this job 9 years ago, I really wanted to make this the best chamber in the state of Kentucky. And I feel overall, for outside of maybe the big 3, I think we have the best chamber in the state of Kentucky. I'm very proud of the work that we put out there, and I think these are the types of things that we have to do. We have to talk and communicate with our elected officials, and we have to be able to convey a message to our community and let them know what's going on. It provides a sense of self-worth and confidence. When you guys talk, they want to know what's going on. So the fact that we're doing this today says a lot. I've had trouble getting all the elected officials in the same room before in the past year. So to have a judge and a mayor that work so closely together and that are supportive of the chamber, it means a lot. So I want to thank you all. And again, thank you all for taking the time to tune in. We're going to continue to do more virtual stuff as we move forward. This is just, this is kind of the best practices moving forward. We're going to be doing more of this digital platform. So thanks again. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you.
Thank you all.